We're making keto ravioli. Stay tuned. We've got so much going on in this video, so do make sure to stick around until the end. Of course, we're using our magic keto pasta dough, and this time around we're going to roll it out. We're going to extrude it through a pasta machine, the one where you get pasta sheets. And of course, you know ravioli's got a filling, so we're going to give you a gorgeous filling for you to try. And we're going to cook the pasta, and I'm giving you a gorgeous recipe for ravioli sauce. Hi, I'm Mel, and welcome to my channel where we're doing a series on keto pasta. If you're new here, please do consider subscribing and hit the notification bell so you get notified of all my upcoming recipes. The nutritional information and your shopping list is in the description box. Let's get into the recipes now. To a bowl, add 60 grams of almond flour and 60 grams of coconut flour. And here are our two binding agents. We're using 1 teaspoon of gelatin and 2 teaspoons of xanthan gum, 1/4 teaspoon of salt for flavor, and we're just going to combine these dry ingredients. If you want your pasta to be a bit more yellow, you can add a pinch of turmeric powder. And lastly, crack in 2 eggs. Now we're going to mix this until it's fully combined. I've kneaded my dough until it's all come together, and I'm not sure if you can see, but there's still some white flecks in there from the coconut flour. And now I'm going to knead this on my bench top to try and minimize that, because to me that means it's not fully kneaded. I've kneaded the dough for about a minute, and it's brought out the oils from the almond flour and has a gloss to it, but it is still not a very sticky dough, and it should be quite firm. Now you're going to separate out your dough so you can feed through the machine. Cut the dough in half so you can work with a smaller portion at a time. Set 1/2 aside and add 1 tablespoon of coconut flour to your bench top. Then knead the half portion of the dough into the coconut flour. This is going to dry out your dough so it can be extruded through a pasta machine. If you are doing this by hand, you can skip the step as you won't need to add the coconut flour. This dough can be prone to cracking, so I pounded it and I shaped it into a rectangle. Then between 2 sheets of parchment paper, roll out the dough. As you roll, you may need to press your fingers into it, and this will take care of any cracks. I got my thickness to about 1/4 inch, and as you can see, my dough looks fabulous. Trim off the edges, and now you have a rectangle shape ready for extruding. Set your thickness to 1 and your machine speed to 1. Then run the dough through the machine. Set the thickness to 2 and extrude again. Let's talk about the offcuts. If you're using a machine, place 1 tablespoon of coconut flour to your surface, then the offcuts, and lastly the other half of the dough. If you're not using a machine, do not add any coconut flour. Then knead the dough and repeat the previous steps. To make ravioli filling, which is going to be enough for 6 people, add 250 grams of cream cheese to a bowl and 1/4 cup of shredded spinach, which is dried out as much as possible. Then 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of pepper, and 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. Then mix well until fully combined. Cut the dough into strips, then add blobs of cream cheese filling, evenly spaced apart along one of the strips of the dough, about 1/4 teaspoon each. Then brush water onto the other strip, and this is going to help the dough stick. Then place 1 strip of dough onto the other. Gently press the dough around the filling to seal the 2 dough strips together. Using a cookie cutter, and it can be round or square, cut out the ravioli, making sure the blob of filling is in the middle. Add your keto ravioli to a lined baking sheet or casserole and bake for an hour on the lower setting for your oven. Over a medium heat, add 1 tablespoon of butter to a pan, and when the butter has melted, add 150 grams of diced chicken and spread that. Then a half a teaspoon of garlic powder and stir that in, a sprinkle of pepper, 2 tablespoons of chicken stock, 2 tablespoons of tomato paste and stir that in. Then 6 cherry tomatoes, and I've just cut them in half. Then add your ravioli and stir once again. Finally, add about 4 tablespoons of chicken stock. Stir and let it cook for about 2 minutes, stirring occasionally in between. If the sauce dries out, add more chicken stock, and I added about 2 tablespoons more. Then it's ready to serve. Add some fresh basil leaves and a sprinkle of grated parmesan. Well, I do hope you enjoyed this tutorial and get to make keto ravioli and that beautiful sauce. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and be well.